Welcome back. We're now going to take you through a slew of very strong numbers that have come through post-market hours yesterday, and one of the stocks that will top the charts is PI Industries. Strong showing this time. The exports went up 40% with proactive raw material planning along with efficient capacity utilization, and domestic revenues increased by 26% in this quarter. Mayank Singhal, the Vice Chairman and Managing Director at PI Industries, joins us now. Mr. Singhal, good morning. It has been a stellar performance, and for the 9 months of this fiscal, the revenues have gone up 25%. But give us the outlook. What are you realistically expecting in FY22 in terms of growth, and what would the big growth triggers be?
Yeah, good morning. As we continue to look for the next couple of years, as we earlier indicated, we are looking at the 20+% growth rate in the next coming years. Yes.
This EBITDA operating margins which have improved, is it an improvement you can maintain? I mean, 20.3 last year, a year ago, and now at 23, maintainable?
Well, I would not say that they are maintainable, but yes, these are margins which have been exceptionally done, because as we go through various product mixes, various stages, the margins come along. Oh, yes, but we're getting the advantage of the operating leverage, which will continue to happen as the growth rate continues to be there. Yeah.
Okay. Can you just give us some color on how you are seeing demand grow? I mean, I think it's very helpful, 20% plus in terms of top line growth. But if you can give color, where is the demand coming, which sectors, and whether it is good enough for you to put in some capex?
Yes, when we look at the various sectors, the two sectors, which is the domestic sector and the export sector. I mean, the domestic agri industry has been in a good shape, and we see a positive outcome at least for the next quarter. And clearly, as you go into the next season, obviously the seasonal dependencies will go in there. With a big backup of a good portfolio, we definitely see that we should be able to give a good performance in that area with the domestic brand business. Okay. And as you continue to look at the exports, we have a strong order book position, which continues to give us the confidence of our growth rates. Followed with that, we've also expanded our horizons by entering into the specialty chemical area, and this is where we would see one of the products getting commercialized in the coming quarter. Okay. And this will become the new focus while we continue to focus on the strategic outlook with the pharma initiatives.
Okay, in fact, since you mentioned pharma, I want to take that forward. The street has been very intrigued with your interest in that space. Tell us a little more. What are you looking at in terms of a timeline? By when would you acquire these pharma assets, and within which segment? API, generic, formulations?
Well, to put it very clearly, we're right now in the process of evaluating a couple of them. And obviously, we are looking to, again, come out with a differentiated strategy, like we have been able to build up in the Ag CSM. We would like to be looking at a strategy where we could cross-lever our technological capabilities and offer a different value proposition to the customer. Obviously, we will be looking at the higher end of the value chain, which could be closer to the APIs or the advanced intermediate area.
Mr. Singhal, will it be as good a margin business as what you are now in? I mean, pharma is pretty crowded.
Well, each market is crowded. I would always say that, but finding a differentiated strategy would create the differential margins. And how do you go about that would be the key driver. And obviously, somewhere the M&A opportunity gets you in, and then you drive your own strategy and achieve your objectives which you set out in a different way.
Okay. I would appreciate if you can tell us when you will make up your mind. Should we expect it in a quarter? I mean, when will you shortlist and put the final touches?
Well, frankly, it's not about me making up the mind of the company making up its mind. It's more about coming to an understanding of the opportunity which comes along. And I think we hope to see some conclusion in the next couple of quarters. Yeah.
Couple of quarters. Okay. I wanted to ask you as well about the PLI scheme. All the spaces you are interested in, or both the spaces you are interested in, has something on offer. Your thoughts, should we hear that kind of expansion?
Yes, I mean, our primary thought is not being linked so much to the scheme, but more to be linked towards the technological initiatives, which could be leveraged at a global level, rather than just. But obviously, the PLI scheme would help us lever that better and take more advanced risks. And as we continue to invest in the R&D, we would see some of these turn up even in a better shape with these kind of incentives coming around. Yeah?
Okay. You are planning to commercialize 5 to 6 new molecules. What is the revenue outlook that you have from this? You're expecting from this?
Well, typically, as you know, scale-up time takes, the first year is usually about first time quantity trials. I don't exactly have the numbers, but they're not going to be pretty large. I mean, they will be substantial, but obviously in the next 2 to 3 years, this will become quite a substantial part of the top line, yeah?
Okay, one minute. If you can give us some more details, what have you set aside as capex mentally in terms of money?
Well, as you know, we've invested aggressively in the capex in the existing business over the last couple of years. About 700-800 crores have been gone in. And now what we've been doing in order to deliver the assets, we are actually putting our technological initiatives are getting into play, and which is going to create additional capacities and bring about a different set of efficiencies, which will give us space for more capital utilization and increase that, while we put one plant for commercialization in this quarter.
Oh, of course, yeah, and that will also generate returns for you. Have you already been speaking to any global biggies? This is, I mean, as you say, you have to plug into the global supply chains. So is that conversation started? I want to know where you are in the PLI chain or in getting into the supply chain timetable.
You got to do that. We're already partners with the global partners in the innovative space. So majority of them, if not all of them. But in terms of the PLI, we've not really started any kind of initiative because we have enough on our hand in terms of technology which is delivering. PLI is more going to be driven by the investments that we do going forward, based on some of the areas which get to commercialize, and that could be needed in the next year or so.
Okay. You said 20% for FY22. I know I'm asking for too much in a distance, but is this a maintainable pace for you year after year?
Well, for now, we see that it's pretty confident to do that, and also to appreciate the base of the organization is also changed to a different level now.
All right.
Okay, we will leave it at that, Mr. Singhal. These are some really optimistic statements coming through from the management of PI Industries. And if you look at the financials, a quick check on the past financials, it has been a very strong showing for them on the revenue front, on the EBITDA performance. There you have it first up. The revenues, steady showing even in the 9 months of FY21. Look, they've actually exceeded all of FY20 in the 9 months of FY21 itself. The EBITDA will also come up for you, and then the profitability. From one strong showing to another, Astral Poly is the other one that has reported very strong numbers in the third quarter. All-time high margins.